A while ago, I made a video talking about furries. And sooner or later, I was gonna talk about you, Sonic fans. You are next on my list. I have experience dealing with these fascinating creatures known as Sonic fans. They are their own breed when it comes to rabid obsession over their fandom, second only to JoJo fans. Let me be clear, this is not me taking the piss and wanting to piss off Sonic fans. Listen, I love anime, and I know how toxic and obsessive those fans can be, so we have some common ground, okay? I just have some experience when it comes to dealing with these types of people. This is a story from back in my younger years when I was still in high school, and I came this close to meeting the most obsessive Sonic fan you've ever met. I mentioned back in one of my previous videos how in my school there weren't exactly groups of people that were known for a particular thing. It would be more along the lines of how an individual would just be particularly known for a certain thing, whether they were good at it or if it was just something that they did all the time, basically. Now, there was this person who was a year above me who was known for really liking Sonic. This was the person who literally based their entire personality on what they liked. This person lived, breathed, and drank nothing but Sonic. I would always overhear other people just talking about how unhealthily obsessed this person was about Sonic. I don't want to give this person's name out at all, but the closest that I could describe them is Sarah from The Amazing World of Gumball. Just the craziest, most obsessed fangirl you could ever imagine.
I was just writing some non-canon AT and AR ships, the odd one shot here and there, and a bit of OOC, some OC drawings of course, but mostly OTP squeeze and fan service.
This is not a joke. Fans like this really do exist. Whether it was snack or lunch or any time she had by herself, she was just drawing Sonic non-stop. And it wasn't just Sonic. She was a shipper. She shipped Sonic with I don't even know the characters' names, but I know that there are other Sonic characters. And I know this for a fact because she carried around this big ass binder that had all of her drawings, all of her fanfic, and it was like cartoonish because it was so filled to the brim that papers were like flying out. They were like poking out so you can kind of see what the drawing was, but not really. And dude, let me tell you, everyone avoided that binder as if it was the Necronomicon. People genuinely feared opening this thing. It was worse than Pandora's box. People were legitimately afraid of what they would find if they opened that. It would be worse than Armageddon. One morning when I arrived to school, I just caught her running across the school for whatever reason. Maybe she was going to her locker or to class. Maybe she was late. But she then bumped into someone and she did the anime thing where all of her papers fall on the ground. And dude, you can just see the mess of everything. Like, oh my god. It wasn't porn, let me tell you that. But it sure as hell was not safe for work. Just from Sarah's personality, you could guess she didn't really have many friends. She always just sat on a table by herself. But to be fair, she was just so intense. Like, no matter what the conversation was, she always found a way to bring up Sonic no matter what. Or even worse, just make the social situation just awkward. Like, one time I was sitting with my friends and we were talking about Pokemon. I don't know why. Maybe it was like because the newest game came out. But she then overheard us talking about it and she just like intruded and said, "Oh my god, you guys talking about Pokemon? I love Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is Lucario." Of course it is. She couldn't at least be original and pick a non-popular furry Pokemon. And as far as I know, she never really was bullied for it at all. It was more along the lines that no one just wanted to interact with her because it would just be too much. She was too much to handle. Dude, she just had this aura around her that no one with a 20-foot stick wanted to poke. Everyone just stayed out of her way. No one wanted to mess with her for all the wrong reasons. Not because she does shady stuff after school, or she got into fights or into trouble a lot. People stay away from her because she was the most intense Sonic fan you ever met. Why am I telling you all this? This is surprisingly a lot of information about this one person I say I never formally met. But just wait for the cherry on top, my friends. This is nothing yet. My school had a graphics design program, and in my senior year, I decided to enroll into that class. And the thing about that class is that everyone gets assigned a computer that they have for the entire year. And on that computer is where we saved all our work, we did all our assignments, and pretty much everyone had their own computer that they all had to look after for that year. And for a lot of people, you were able to see the work from past students that happened years ago. My computer was just like that. I saw like so many assignments, so many like undeleted projects that people just had lying around in the computer save files. It's exactly how when you get like an old textbook and you see all the scribbles and all the names of all the students that previously had it. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but more personal, you know? You get to see like a person's past work, the thought process of when they were making that assignment. But how does this all relate back to Sarah? Well, it turned out that in her senior year, she took that class. And when she graduated, she left back a fragment of her soul in one of the computers. Just like that binder that I mentioned earlier, she infected one of the computers with all of her intense Sonic fangirl fantasies, and she just left it behind for some poor soul to stumble upon. The computers never got wiped, so whatever work she did on the computer just stayed there for the next year for someone to for some unfortunate soul to just get the same computer that she did. And who do you think that person was? Who do you think was the person that God decided to smite that day and damn them with the cursed computer that Sarah left behind? Not me, but the guy who sat to my left. It was horrifying. It was straight up like that scene from Ted when Tim goes on that guy's computer and says, "Oh my god, it's so much porn!" It was save file after save file of so many images that she drew herself, along with so many saved photos of Sonic and other characters. Some of them were making out, some of them were hugging. Again, it wasn't porn, but it sure as hell might as well have been from our reaction. This poor lad. Dude, this poor guy. He had a bunch of his friends in that same class, so he just called them over, and within 20 seconds, there were just like 7 dudes huddled on this one guy's computer, and he's just scrolling down, just, oh my god, the horror. It was dozens after dozens of Sonic drawings, dude. It was like we just had a direct window into her mind. Pretty soon, our graphics design teacher, who, by the way, was like the chillest dude ever, he noticed that there was just this group around this one dude. So he walked over, he was like, "Hey guys, what are you guys doing? You guys supposed to be working?" And you should have seen his reaction. He was like, "What are you guys doing?" You're like, "It's not us, it's not us." She's like, I wasn't even directly part of the group. I was just in the blast zone watching this all happen. After about 10 minutes of like the guy just scrolling down, eventually the teacher said, "Okay, these are some disturbing news. We'll deal with this later. Everyone get back to work." I can't imagine how that guy must have felt knowing that he had her computer. When class ended and it was snack, that same guy called over the boys like, "Yo, we're scrubbing this computer clean. We're deleting every single thing." And not gonna lie, I just stayed there just to watch them exterminate everything they could. It was like dozens after dozens of so many cursed drawings and saved images of Sonic shipped with somebody else. She even had Word documents of her own fanfic saved on the computer. Like, who does this on a school computer? It baffled everyone. What the hell? And even after like they exterminated everything that they could, occasionally throughout the year, this poor guy, like, something would pop up every now and again, and he would like be reminded of who the legacy of what this computer would now be known as. So yeah, that's the story of me sort of meeting this. Like I said, I never formally met this person, but I've had more than enough run-ins to know what this person is like. So yeah, that's kind of just the whole story about Sonic fans. Anyway, thanks for watching.